is GodLogic.
So in Islam, it's different. In Islam, you actually have where it's taught that Allah basically overrides your will on your actions, and He decides your actions and overrides your will of what you're deciding to do. Like, so for example, there's a hadith, and I can pull it up. But there's
Yeah,
a hadith.
I've seen that. I've seen
Seen it. Okay, so it talks about how the person who is doing good deeds, doing the deeds that will get him into heaven, and he gets so close that he's only a cubit's length worth distance from heaven,
right.
until what Allah wrote for him overcomes him. It says it overcomes him, and then he starts doing the deeds of the people that belong to hell, and then he ends up going to hell. So, and then vice versa. What's from going to hell, God, what He wrote overrides them, and then they go to heaven.
Right.
So that type of thing is showing that Allah actively, interrupts the free will of the person with what He wrote and overcomes that person's will, and they then start doing the deeds that Allah wants them to do, which are the evil deeds and stuff.
But I kind of understand it as meaning God knows what we're going to do anyway. So the fact that He knows before we do it is,
There's a difference. There's a difference between foreknowledge and then predetermination, determinism.
Right.
Like what you just described as God's foreknowledge. He knows what we're going to do. It's not Him making us do it. He just knows what's going to happen. This right here is not describing foreknowledge. It's describing determinism, that He's actually determining what you do. And in fact, it overrides what you were willing to do yourself. It overrides your free will and interrupts that and overcomes, the hadith says, it overcomes it.
But would that even make any sense?
It doesn't make any sense, which is why I know that Islam is false. It's a false teaching, bro.
Yeah. Because I don't
that right there is a false teaching.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't agree. I don't agree, but that's how it's interpreted. Because if that were the case, Allah would already have predetermined who's going to go to heaven and who's going to go to hell. So why go?
That's exactly
why go through all these motions.
I'm telling you. You're so close, James. You keep sticking around, man. You keep sticking around, and you gonna be out of here.
Yeah.
But look, I'm telling you what you just said, and you agree that that's ridiculous. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. The hadith literally teaches this. It literally teaches that Allah creates for heaven those who are to go to heaven, and created for hell those who are to go to hell before they were in their father's loins. This is. Let me show you.
Yeah. Actually, there is a verse that says that there are some that are actually created for hell, because of course when Allah creates
jinn and men. James, can I add something as well?
Sure.
Meanwhile, GodLogic is pulling up that hadith.
Yeah.
There is a different hadith. If you go to actually Sahih Bukhari, right, there is a whole chapter, not a chapter, there is a whole section about something called the taqdir, and it's called qadar. Okay, so meaning like destiny, or predestination, in Islam. So if you go there, there's a hadith that talks about Muhammad actually coming up to different prophets. So there is a sayings of Adam when Adam is saying when he gets charged, why did you if you didn't.
Yeah, I know
that one, right? If you didn't sin, we wouldn't be, having these difficulties and all that. But pay attention what Adam says. Yeah. Adam says, "Why are you charging against me? Why are you blaming me when Allah, decreed this on me 40 years before I was born?" Right?
Yeah.
So
I know about that one.
This is fatality, something called fatality. With the destination. With the destiny, right?
Right.
So that's how it's different. Like you have no choice, when it comes to the decree of Allah. It's already been, written down on your forehead.
Yeah, no, I personally don't believe that though. So I don't know, but I have evolved, because if something doesn't make sense to me, I don't accept it. I don't care who tells me. Because I started out from a Christian family, then I got into the Nation of Islam. Found some things there I didn't agree, so then I got more mainstream Islam. But I had a Ahmadiyya sect Quran, and so then I found some things in there I didn't believe. So then I went more towards Sunni. But then even there's some things that Sunni I don't agree with, and so I just consider myself Muslim, no type of sect. I just believe that there's no God but Allah, and I believe Muhammad is his prophet. So that makes me Muslim.
So look at this. Look at this one. This is the one I was talking about. It says here. It says, Aisha, the mother of the believers, said that Allah's messenger was called to lead the funeral prayer of a child of the Ansar. I said, so this is Aisha speaking, Allah's messenger, there's happiness for this child who is a bird from the birds of paradise, for it committed no sin, nor has he reached the age when one can commit sin. He said, Aisha, peradventure, like stop it. It may be otherwise, because God created for paradise those who are fit for it while they were yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins. Yeah. So the very thing that you said was ridiculous and stupid, James, is literally what Muhammad taught.
Yeah, I still, to me, I read this as saying that because God knows. When he creates you, he knows whether you're going to go to heaven or hell when you're created, right? Because he knows it all.
So him creating you and knowing where you will go is different from him creating you for the specific destination. Like he's the one who's deciding where you will go, you know, type of thing.
Right.
That's different. We're not talking about foreknowledge. We're talking about actual Allah being the one who is like doing this.
Right. Focus on that last sentence. He created them, and who's the them? It's
the people.
People, right?
Yeah.
He created them, the people, for hell while they were yet in their father's loins.
Yeah. No, I still, in my mind, because I don't believe that. I believe that just in my mind says that he knows, because I don't believe that God just, it doesn't make any sense. If that were the case, we have to go through all these motions.
I agree,
James.
Yeah.
James, here's what's going on here. What's going on here is that what you know is true. What you know is true is that you're like forcing that on the hadith. Like you know what the hadith is saying, but because you know it's ridiculous, you're like, yeah, no, there's no way that God would do it. Like this doesn't make any sense. So I am reading it this way.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
James, you all right, man.
But look, dude, you can't do it. We have to be honest, okay? We can't force the text to fit our own minds. We have to we got to accept what the text says, even though this is what you can do. You can read the text and just know what the text says, but just reject it. Say that this teaching right here, that this hadith is a false teaching. You don't have to make it fit what you already believe, because it doesn't.
Yeah, but you Christians do the same thing all the time. Right?
That doesn't make, even if that's the case, because I disagree with that.
Right.
But if that is the case, that doesn't make what you're doing right now okay.
I agree. But I'm just saying.
So we were both being wrong then.
Right.
we both shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because like when it says, Jesus says the Father is greater than I, then you say, no, he's still equal. But that's not what it says. So you can explain it away, but it's not what it says. Like if you put that up here, word for word, Jesus said the Father is greater than I, period. There's no, but in this. So you can read something in there, but that's not what the text says, right?
Well, no, actually, we can show you we can show you from the text the sense in which Jesus is meaning.
No, I'm talking about that. I can show you.
I just said it. We can show you from the text. We can show you from the text that Jesus is meaning that he surrenders to the Father. It's authority, not essence. Because literally he says you can pray to him in that same context. It says that he's the one who gives power to do miracles in that same context.
Right.
He's the one who gives eternal life in that same context.
Right.
So Jesus is not saying that he doesn't have the same essence and power as the Father. He just says he submits to the Father. Just like you submit to your boss, but
he gives the peace, the Salam al-Masih. He gives the peace because
he's the one who gives the peace, and we know that peace comes from God and God alone.
All I'm saying is that it says that the Father is greater than I, but then some Christians read in the fact that they're equal. But equal cannot be greater.
The text tells us, man, what sense it's talking about.
What do you mean the
But
text?
but look, not without doing the Muslim shuffle.
Yeah.
Right here, if you're saying that Christians do that,
Yeah.
that they read into the text, try to fit the text to their own mind, we
Right.
both agree that
Right.
that's wrong. It's the wrong thing to do.
Right.
So don't do what you're accusing Christians of doing. Don't do it.
I already said I don't believe that this is saying that God actually determines who's going to go.
No. What you said is you don't believe that God determines who goes to heaven or hell.
That's what I
So
just said.
therefore, that's why you're choosing to read this in that way that you already believe.
No,
So
I already
can you
said this is what I believe. I don't believe that God has determined who goes to heaven and who goes to hell.
I know, but the text here says that he does, right?
Yeah, if you read it as verbatim, yeah.
Yes, thank you. So according to this text, Allah determines who goes to heaven and hell. Is that false? Is that wrong?
Again, I personally do not believe that God determines who goes to heaven and hell ahead of time. That a person's actions will determine whether they go to heaven and hell. But God knows what we're going to do. So it's as if He did design you to go to hell because He created you and He knows where you're going. So it's
now you're trying to reconcile it again.
I'm telling you what I believe. I already told you I don't believe that God has determined who's going to go to heaven and hell.
So then this hadith is wrong, then, right?
If you were to interpret that verbatim.
I don't have to interpret it at all. I just read it. I just read it.
Focused on that last sentence, right?
You know,
we just read it.
I don't have to interpret it. I don't have to interpret, splice it. I don't have to do anything. I just read it. Right. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins. Before they were
in their father's loins. So this baby, this innocent baby, before he even did anything, he's probably going to hell. Yeah,
that's why I don't believe that. I don't accept that. I don't believe that.
Yeah. So then this hadith is wrong then, right? This teaching is wrong. It's okay.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Like I said, all I can say is I don't believe that God created people.
No.
Mother's womb.
James.
Yes.
James.
I'm already. How many different ways can I say it? I don't believe
this is how you can say it. This is how you can say it. You can say, and this will satisfy me. This hadith is wrong.
I can't say that because I don't know enough. I don't have enough information. I don't have enough information.
You can't. What do you mean you don't have enough information?
There was one when you and I talked. There was one hadith you gave, and then I went back and did some research on it. And then after I got an explanation, then it didn't make sense before, but it did make sense after getting some more information. So I can't necessarily say I reject something that I don't understand. But all I can
you do understand that. You understand this is plain and clear.
Yeah, and I told you I don't believe that God has made people while you're
right.
In your mother's womb.
According to your beliefs, this hadith is wrong, right?
Again, as I don't know how many times I can say it. I don't want to say I don't want to reject something that I don't totally understand.
Okay, no worries.
I get you. I agree with you. I don't believe that God creates a person's destiny while they're in their mother's womb. I don't believe that. Yeah.
So then, all right, no worries. Yeah. So then, I'll say it for you. This hadith is false, and you do not agree with what Muhammad teaches.
It's GodLogic.